Hello everyone, welcome back. Y'all have mentioned that I have not done a budget run for Tegmine, so I'm going to be going back to Tegmine and showing a way to do him. Now this is not true budget because you'll notice there's quite a few rainbows on this team, but I'm going to point out where these rainbows can be replaced if you have different options. But this run is not going to be using any trust masteries unless they were given for free from a raid or a MOG event, with one exception. And it also is not going to be using evasion either. Y'all, asked me, please don't use evasion if you don't have to. So we're going to be doing it without evasion. But we are going to be using a 7-star Wilhelm for our tank. Now that's kind of like the catch with evasion. If you don't do evasion, you need a really powerful tank. And if I'm not using trust masteries either, I kind of got to go with Wilhelm. So, there's the trade-off. You can have evasion, you can have like a really decked out Warrior of Light with full trust masteries and enhancements, or you can go with a 7-star tank. And with the unit of choice, you can get a 7-star Wilhelm if you've already got one, if you decide to go that route. But anyway, like I mentioned, this is the only trust mastery we're using on the team. It is his own shield because it activates his passives, and that's helpful. But other than that, he's got a little bit of water resist, and he's got status immunity, and he's geared for hit defense and spirit because he's going to be taking both physical and magical hits. 9S is going to be a assist breaker as well as mitigation shield. Now, if you don't have 9S, CG Nicole is a great option because Wilhelm can handle the breaks after the turn 1. But 9S is good because he can break, he can do mitigation shield, and that's really all he's doing. He's just doing those two. He's got water resist and immunity. Oh, the status effects are poison, paralyzed, and disease. Now, paralyzed you have to immune because that's kind of a critical one. But disease and poison can be ignored if you choose to. They're not as critical. But yeah, so you can replace him with any breaker. CG Lid is wonderful. CG Nicole has that good mitigation shield and the good water resist buff, etc. One more thing I didn't mention is Wilhelm, your tank needs death immunity. You absolutely have to have safety bit or Genji shield equipped. So that's something else to remember. My DPS is going to be, for physical, is Frievia for chaining. Now she's not the best chainer for this fight because the boss is immune to magical damage on the phase she's going to be fighting, so she's only going to be like technically half damage because she's hybrid. But I actually don't have many chainers that chain with my Sephiroth, who's going to be the main damage. But she's geared for immunity to poison, paralyze. She's got some water resist. I couldn't really fit disease immunity without dropping her stats quite a bit. So she's going to be diseased, but that's okay. And she's not even using her own trust mastery. We're going with the cheapy Lumineer and the Enhancer because they're free equipments. Sephiroth is going to be a damage dealer. Now he's wearing an ice weapon because Frievia imperils ice. Also I should have mentioned, Ice Brand is good because it deals, or him and Frievia deal ice damage for the mission. But anyway, Sephiroth is going to be a chainer. He's geared more for defense and survival than he is for damage. He's still got decent attack though, and he's got some of the the free material we got from the Star Ocean raid, Fortitude and Vigor. But he's immune to all the relevant statuses. He's got a lot of water resist because he's on Siren. Oh, and Frievia is on Diablos only because they gives poison immunity, and she's not naturally poison immune. But yeah, so he's going to be our other chainer for physical. Fina is going to be our healer. Re-raise is very, very useful for this encounter, so we're going to be using her for re-raise mostly. Now you can use Ayaka. I think Yuna has re-raise. Some other units do too. Maybe, I don't remember all the whole list of units. But re-raise is helpful. It's not a requirement. You can do it without re-raise, but it is quite useful. And she's got water resist, and she's also not disease immune because, like I said, I can't really fit it without using trust masteries. So you only got one ribbon from the raid, I think. So she's got a fairy ring for poison immunity, but not disease. It's all right. Mystia is going to be our cover for only phase 1. Now she's geared for immunity to holy, 150%. Her statuses are not important because there's no statuses in phase 1. And she's got the Rod of Lightning for thunder damage, and she's got Arrow Blade, you can craft these for cheap, and Stone Blade for wind and earth damage. Because the mission is wind, earth, lightning, and ice. And so she's going to do the other 3 that are not covered by Frievia. Emperor is our magical DPS for Phase 1. The boss is immune to physical. This spot is extraordinarily flexible. You can use Tornado Chainers like Lexus, Shantoto. You can use Dark Fiend. You can use any mage you want. It's completely flexible. Their resists are not important. Their status immunities are not important because Phase 1, there's nothing that's going to hit them. You just grab your favorite mage and yeah. The boss is immune to water and holy, so you can't use water and holy, but everything else is great. The other missions are finish with a limit and do it within 30 turns. So let's get into it. We are out of energy. Whoops. What does it take? 50? Yeah, let's use the potion. I did not. Should have checked that. Whatever. So let's get into it. So the boss is going to ambush. Now he's going to ambush with a death attack. I should have mentioned that again. I'm sorry. You want to hide your critical units for the ambush. So Wilhelm's immune. 9S is not immune, but if he gets killed on turn 1, that's okay. We don't mind. But hopefully Wilhelm takes the death if he's immune to it. Alright, so here it comes. It went to Wilhelm. Outstanding. That's good. Alright, so turn 1. We're going to go ahead and bring Fina in. We're going to bring Mystia for cover. And we're going to bring Emperor to start dealing some damage. Now, Emperor is going to go ahead and use... no, we're not going to do that, actually. Wilhelm will provoke. There's no AoE physical in the first phase. 9S is going to break the boss's attack. Now, the boss's magic is not broken, but the only magic damage he deals in phase 1 is holy damage, and Mystia is completely immune. We're going to cover with Mystia. Now, we're going to re-raise on Fina herself, as well as on Wilhelm, because if Mystia is slow at covering this holy nuke, while his magic is not broken, it could be a problem. And Emperor will just start stacking his fires from below. Now, let's hopefully Mystia covers. Okay, she did, outstanding, because the magic was not broken yet, and that would have been a problem if it hit someone before breaking the magic. Now, as you can see, a beefy tank does not need evasion. And of course, phase 1's very easy anyway. Alright, so Wilhelm's going to do a even better attack break. While we're going to do a magic break with 9S. Mystia is going to use Aeroblade. And that dealt wind and lightning damage because she's wearing lightning weapons. That's 2 of the missions out of the way. Or 2 of the elements out of the way. Go ahead and fires from below, which is ramping up damage. And we're going to Manatopia with Fina just to keep people topped off with mana. Alright, now Wilhelm's going to do a magic break. Fina will go ahead and heal. And she will keep re-raise on Wilhelm. Mystia is now going to do Stone Blade. So that dealt the earth damage we needed to deal. Emperor will fire from below. And 9S. There's not a whole lot for 9S to do right now. So he's just going to guard. Yeah, there's really no point to put 9S's mitigation shield up, because it does not stack with Wilhelm's mitigation shield, and Wilhelm's is better anyway. Yeah, so phase 1 is pretty dull. It's very low risk. You can't physically hit him, so we're just kind of passing the time at the moment. We need to taunt again. We need to cover again. We'll just guard 9S. We'll hit with Emperor. Now this is 90%, the threshold. So this is going to be a single target holy nuke, which might not get covered by Mystia. Because it's single target. Yeah, okay, so Mystia was slow at covering. She's bad at covering single target. That's okay, though. It didn't kill Wilhelm, so we don't really mind. So Wilhelm will break the magic. We will just continue to nuke. Emperor's damage is increasing. The next threshold is at 75%, by the way. go ahead and dual cast a re-raise on Wilhelm to keep him topped up, and we will cure. Now this would be quicker if I was using like chainers, like tornado chainers would actually be even better than Emperor. But then I'd have to swap them out. Well, then again, 9S really isn't doing anything either, so technically I should have brought chainers in. It would have been even quicker than using Emperor solo. We are on a 30-turn clock, but I think we'll be okay. So Wilhelm's going to go ahead and break magic. Misty with refresh cover. Emperor will nuke. This is going to be another threshold. And we will keep that mana regen going with Fina. Alright, here's the single target nuke. It may hit Wilhelm. Okay, Mystia covered it. Outstanding. Not that it really mattered. So let's taunt with Wilhelm. Let's nuke with Emperor. Okay, the next threshold is 60%, which we're going to hit next turn. So Tina will Manatopia once again. Alright, so this is going to be the 60% threshold. So the 60% threshold is going to be multiple physical attacks. Now, we actually don't want Mystia in to cover anything, so we're going to hide her. We're going to bring in Ferevia to put up that Imperil so it's ready for next round. Wilhelm is now going to physical cover. Ferevia will go ahead and Imperil. Emperor will nuke. That's going to push the threshold. 9S will discard. He has nothing to do this round. And Fina will dual cast a heal. We're going to re-raise on Wilhelm. I'm fairly certain he's not going to die here, but you never know. Alright, here comes 3 physical attacks for the threshold. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Wilhelm barely even took any damage. That's outstanding. So Emperor is paralyzed, but like I said, he's now done. The boss is now immune to magic for the rest of the encounter, so we're going to get rid of Emperor. Once Wilhelm finishes countering. Someday. There we go. Alright. So let's see here. So Misty is now done for the fight as well. Wilhelm will refresh the magic break on the boss. So we're not covering magic. So for this phase, the boss is going to do a random attack each turn. It can be either a physical AoE, a magic AoE, a magical single target, or some stat breaks. So we're going to go ahead and, because we're going to be taking the magical damage, we want to keep the boss's magic broken with Wilhelm if possible. And we're also going to be keeping up Spread Shield now with 9S for the mitigation in case we do take a magical AoE. Now Ferevia and Sephiroth are going to chain. Let's see what kind of damage they deal. The next threshold is at 40%, by the way. Okay, so we're actually going to push it next turn. No, we don't really need mana regen right now. But we're going to do it anyway. Okay. There's the physical AoE, which is hitting our tank. Now, like I said, you could be using any evade tank. He's taking 0 damage. But, you know, this is painful. Alright, so we're going to push the 40% threshold this time. It's going to be some water debuffs. I'm checking the list. It's going to be a hybrid AoE, which we're going to cover with Wilhelm. Wilhelm needs to provoke as well. I think we need to break the boss's attack. It might have worn off at this point. We'll reload these two. Oh, we actually didn't push it. Huh. Okay. That's fine. So we're going to cure and re-raise Wilhelm. It's not a problem. Oh, because the boss broke our attack and magic, so we're dealing less damage now. That's why. Okay. Yeah. It's painful. Definitely painful. Let's just go ahead and cover with Wilhelm. We'll go ahead and chain, although it's gonna, you know, hit point lock anyway. That's fine. I think we need to break magic with. Wait, no. Oh, we want to break attack. And we will heal and re-raise with Fina. Alright, here comes the 40% threshold. It's going to be some stat breaks, a water imperil, a non-elemental magic AoE, physical hybrid AoE, and an instant KO to Wilhelm because he's taunting. There's a lot of things going on this attack. So there's the magic AoE, there's the hybrid AoE, there's the death. That threshold has a lot going on. So the next threshold is at 20%. Let's keep that in mind. So Wilhelm is now going to break magic. We're going to put up Spread Shield again with 9S. So now there's going to be a water AoE every single turn. So Fina, again, I should have mentioned this, I'm sorry. Fina is going to be casting Water Resist from Leviathan. Or Siren, she's on one of them. But from an Esper. And she's going to heal. So now we've got 50% Water Resist to go with that to counter the Imperil. So the Imperil is 75%, and the Water Resist is only 50%, so we're going to be taking a little bit of water damage, but it's alright. Alright, so there's the AoE, so that was an AoE fit magic he did. There's the water damage, but we're mostly immune to the water. That's the reason we put all that Water Resist on our units. You know, it lowered our damage, but it increased our survival by quite a lot. Alright, so Wilhelm needs to provoke. I think 9S needs to break magic. We'll go ahead and chain with these two. So the next threshold is at 20%. But I'll cover that in a moment. Fina is going to just heal and water resist again. Okay, so here's the water damage. Alright, so this threshold is kind of a dangerous one because he does the AoE, the boss does the AoE stuff, but the threshold does not end his turn. He does his normal turn in addition to everything else. So there's a decent chance we lose our tank here. So we're going to go ahead and heal and re-raise Wilhelm. Wilhelm needs to refresh his AoE cover. We're going to go ahead and refresh Spread Shield with 9S. And we're going to chain with our chainers. Alright, so here comes, there's the non-AoE. There's the hybrid recovering. There's another AoE, and here comes the water damage. So that was the 20% threshold. As you saw, very, very damaging. But with a lot of water resist, you can mitigate it. You know, it was mostly water damage that the team took. That's the reason you really want to prioritize water resist over just more DPS. So now Wilhelm is going to break the magic. 9S is going to break the attack. Fina is going to dual cast a water resist and a heal. Now I am casting the water resist more than I need. It does last 3 turns. I'm casting it almost every turn. But there is nothing else for her to dual cast because she full heals the team with 1 spell. Okay. Not bad. Alright, so Wilhelm's going to go ahead and taunt. Now the boss is almost dead, so we're going to go ahead and hit him, but we're going to like intentionally like bad chain to get the boss lower, but not to the point where we're going to kill him. Alright, we'll spread shield with 9S, and we will just water resist and heal with Fina. There's another non-elemental AoE. Here comes the water attack. Not too bad. Some hits on the tank. Alright, so we're going to queue up some DPS limit burst for the mission credit. Because the boss is now dead. So we're going to chain. We're going to start 9S limit burst, and then we're going to use Fina's limit burst. You can really use any DPS limit burst you want. 9S is very slow, which is nice. And here comes 9S's hit. There's 9S's limit burst, and that gave us credit for the mission. 17 turns. So we had 13. We had 18 additional turns if our DPS was lower. I did use Frievia and Sephiroth. You could have definitely used like Camille and Lara Croft, or Mario Frigo and Enhanced Agrius. Just any two physical chainers you have, or if you got the good chainers, that's wonderful too. You can use Prompto and Octaslash, or just whatever two physical chainers you'd like to use. The key points are just high water resist in that final phase, some decent spirit, some good breaks, mitigation shield, just stack into survival. As long as you can survive that final phase, you're golden. So I hope that helped with the Tegmine fight. It wasn't pure budget, but we did use no trust masteries at all, except for the free stuff. So, there's plenty of room for improvement. I'll see y'all next time.